Okay, we're joined now by Coach Frost, and we will go ahead and start with Caleb Henry.
Coach, you said on Saturday after the game that the team didn't have the juice and the enthusiasm. Out of that, you'd give anything to go back and play on that turf. Nobody had to tell you guys to be fired up to go play no matter the opponent. Is that something you can coach into this team, or is that something more that needs to be identified better in recruiting?
Oh, it's our job to coach it into these guys. We got a lot of guys that have that. It wasn't there as a team, and it started in practice all week, I thought, and we got to do a better job coaching it into them. We certainly tried to coach it into them. I think a little bit we got a young team that thought they won one game and everything was good, and the next one was going to be a win too, and that's not the way this game works. So hopefully our young players learned a lesson, and we won't let it happen again.
Our next question comes from Drake Keeler.
Yeah, so the last 2 years you've headed into the Iowa game off of a win, 2018 against Michigan State, 2019 against Maryland. Is the energy coming into a rivalry game any different coming off of a big loss?
No, I don't think so. Our guys have responded this week. Energy's way better. I think they're excited to play Iowa. Iowa's a really good team. It's going to be a black and blue game like it always is against those guys. They're going to make you earn it, and we respect them, but we want to play as hard as we can, and I think the guys are going to prepare.
Next question comes from Parker Gabriel, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, Scott, did you think any different of your quarterback performance overall after watching the film? And obviously, you've been through the ups and downs of being a college quarterback. How can you help instill confidence in the way those guys play and just the pace that they play at?
Pace has been good this year. Those guys are running hard. They're evading rush when they need to. Timing on throws needs to be a little better. You know, we're really young outside, so it's not all on the quarterbacks. But overall, our quarterback play wasn't good enough on Saturday, particularly the turnovers. We got off to such a bad start. But just like every week, we're going to let those guys compete. I've been talking to those guys about just what you asked, being confident. Both of them believe in the type of player they are and the type of throwers they are. And they both have the capability of doing it.
Is there an added dimension to the challenge, just given how young you are outside? I'm not trying to make excuse for those guys, but I mean, does it make it hard for a quarterback to be confident if you can't trust that a guy is going to be in the right spot at the right moment?
Oh yeah. That's the passing game. We've thrown for a lot of yards in this offense, and we're not on track to do that this year. We got the kids in the program that I think are going to be great receivers. They're all young. A lot of them are young. A couple of veterans that are doing a really good job. But our quarterbacks need to trust them, and we need to be in the right spot, and we need to be at full speed and all those things. And we're working toward that every day, and it was better today.
Next question from Joe Nugent, WOWT.
Scott, I'm curious about Thursday. Will you guys have a practice? You'll travel, and then Thanksgiving for so many people is going to be different this year. Will it be a different experience compared to other years for the team, whether or not you can get together or not?
Yeah, this whole year's been rough and trying to manage things. We're going to treat Thursday like it's a normal Friday for us and head over there. We're trying to work through right now how many guys we can let go home. If we go home and get some guys with the virus, that could put our season in jeopardy, the rest of the season in jeopardy. And I'm sure our guys after this long haul are ready to go see family, but we got a couple more games to play, so we're trying to work through that schedule right now. But we'll treat Thursday, other than a nice team meal, the same as we do the day before any game.
Sam McEwen, Omaha World Herald.
Scott, I have two very different questions. The first one is this. You've been a quarterback coach and an offensive guy for a long time. You know what it looks like when it's really good. And you know what a good quarterback looks like. You recruited and coached Marcus Mariota, you recruited Justin Herbert, even though you didn't coach him, but Lubick did. And you had Mackenzie Milton. How close are your quarterbacks right now to the kind of players that those guys were, and that kind of play? How close are they, and what do they need to do to get there?
They both have enough talent to be those guys, Sam, and we haven't gotten them playing there yet. Luke was in his second start. That's tough. Adrian has all the talent in the world and has the capability of doing it. Those guys can both be just like the people you asked about, but there's been games where we haven't played like that, and we have to do a better job as coaches to make sure that we get those guys to max out their potential.
The other question is, JoJo Doman said that you guys practiced this week as physical as humanly possible. What was the thinking behind that? I mean, Iowa's a very physical team, but the players seem to note that the practices were really physical and rigorous. And I was just curious what the thinking was behind that and how your team has responded.
Other than trying to get the guys to play hard, practice hard, that we didn't do as well as I wanted last week, and the execution wasn't well as I wanted. We didn't change practice. I think it's just the intensity's better, and that's what we need when we're playing any game, especially Iowa.
Thank you.
Next question, Kevin Suits, KOLN,
Hey, Scott, in spite of it being a very unconventional year and all the challenges you guys have had to endure, you get to maintain the tradition of playing on the day after Thanksgiving. What does that mean to you and the program to continue to do that?
Well, we're excited to be playing football. We fought to play football. I'm glad we're playing. No matter what happens, I'm glad we're getting this experience. To get better as a football team, we need to be able to play. It's great we get to play Iowa. I got so much respect for Coach Ferentz and their program. We've been in two close ones that we lost at the last second the first 2 years. They're going to make you earn it, man. They're a physical team. They're good on defense. They do a great job on offense. We're excited to be playing. And it has been a weird year. It's been a challenging year. Trying to handle every one of these weird situations the right way, but great that we're getting a chance to play this football game.
Next question, Sean Callahan, Husker Online.
Coach, I know every game's important at Nebraska, but when you size in on this final 3-game stretch, how defining is this stretch going to be for you guys to show some progress and get things back where you want them to be?
Yeah, it's important. We're so much better in so many ways, but we weren't Saturday, and that's what frustrates me. Is we've taken steps forward. I feel like we took a step back Saturday. We got more talent in this program than we've had the last 2 years. The talent keeps growing. A lot of the good players that are playing for us are young, freshmen, playing for the first time. To win in this league, you got to not only have the athletes on the field and have the right X's and O's, you got to execute it really well, and that's easier to do with a veteran team than it is a young team. I think defensively, Saturday wasn't what we wanted, but our defense has been running and hitting better. We got the pieces at skill on offense now, some of them young. So the progress is evident when you're inside these walls, but it's got to show up on the field. And we're playing 3 games against 3 good opponents. We're going to take our swing. There's no doubt that the improvements are being made. It's got to show up on the football field, and we got to catch some momentum.
Andy Kendi, KETV.
Hey, Coach. 2 questions. 1, can you give us an update on Colin Miller? And 2,